Welcome back to Your Road to Home, your friendly guide to the people and the places that make our community so great here in the Carbon Valley in Northern Colorado. I'm Kendra Badgekar with LPT Realty, here with
Maxine Carey with Vector Bank, and we are here with
Jill Mendoza, Economic Development Director with the town of Firestone.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We are very excited to dive in to the city of Firestone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll just kind of jump in. Tell us a little bit about your background and what made you choose Carbon Valley.
Yes. So I've been in economic development for over 15 years, mostly in the northern metro region.
Okay.
And I just fell into economic development as a natural progression of what I like to do personally, which is find the heart of any community that I'm in. Whether I'm a tourist or a resident or an employee, I love to learn about what is the heart of a community and their identity, and get to know the businesses and the stories behind the business owners. And that just naturally feeds into what I do as an economic development director, working mostly with businesses within the community, with commercial property owners, and with developers to try to enhance the communities in which I work.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What drew you out here to the Firestone area?
I have had a longstanding relationship with AJ Krieger and knew all of the development that was happening out here. One of my colleagues I had worked with previously in another municipality, and she's been here for 6 years. So
Awesome.
they have been, trying to get me to consider an opportunity up here. Also, my sister lives here, so I've been coming up here as a visitor for several years since she relocated to the
And
town
she
of
loves it
Firestone.
here.
She loves it.
She loves it.
She's raised her kids here. It's a beautiful community. I loved to paddleboard on Barefoot Lakes with her, and so I was very familiar with the community when I took the position. So very interested in engaging with the development that's happening here. There's a lot of things already in the works, but then there's also a lot of opportunity for continued development, doing it in a measured way that's really going to meet the needs of the community. And then there's some innovative development that's happening that I'm a part of, and really envisioning what the future of Firestone will look like. And so that's really exciting as well.
That's awesome. Can you share any upcoming projects and initiatives with the town of Firestone?
Yeah, so most of which you will already all be aware of. Target closed the second week I was here, so that
Nice.
was a very exciting deal to be able to be a part of. Even though I had nothing to do with bringing them here, I will help them get open and have a long-standing
And
relationship.
they've broken
with
ground,
them.
right?
They have.
Okay.
They are doing earthwork is what we call, and so they're getting the site ready
Okay.
to start the building. So the building hasn't actually started being built, but they'll be open by next summer. So a year from now, they'll open and will be a great draw for not only our community, but this is going to fill a void that
Yeah.
exists in the region. So
Yes.
it's going to have a great draw from outside of Firestone, which brings in tax dollars from people that don't live here, which helps to pay for the things that the community needs.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great asset to the community. And then along that corridor, as you know, there's a lot of development happening. We got the 7 Brew, which is exciting,
Oh.
a new coffee concept
Okay.
in the area. This was one of their first stores in Colorado. So exciting to have a new concept here. Next to 7 Brew, we have a Chick-fil-A coming in, and their revenue projections are great.
Oh, yeah.
So there's definitely, the market has the potential now
Yeah.
for the type of retail and development that I know that all of you are craving. So
And job growth.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we're really excited about that. Chick-fil-A is already under construction and will be open by the end of the year. And then we have several more leases that are already in progress along the corridor right next to them, including some food, some auto, and then there's some opportunity for restaurant pad sites there. So we're really hoping that we're going to have a sit-down restaurant option within that.
amazing.
That isn't just quick serve, that you're not just going to pick up or DoorDash, but you'll want to bring your families and sit down or have meetings and have lunches and things like that.
That
So,
will be amazing
Yes,
right
it
off the
will.
highway.
Yes, it
Yes.
will.
I
That's
25.
very exciting. Yeah. What
Yeah.
a great location for all that.
Yeah.
So what do we have coming in the future then in the next, you said there's exciting stuff, the next 5-10 years. What does that look like?
Yeah, so the development will just continue to come east. We have 2 sites that are right off of Birch on the north and south side of Firestone Boulevard there. The south site is a little bit more ready for development in terms of the ownership and the negotiations, so that site will probably start moving forward. We are in negotiations right now, and so it would be hopefully, I don't want to say a big box anchored or grocery anchored, but something significant that would be surrounded by smaller format retail within that. And then there will be residential behind it. So the retail will come first, which is actually kind of the reverse of how development usually happens. Usually the homes get built and then the retail comes in afterward. But the way this project is going, we feel like the market is ready for the retail. And there's so much home building already going on here. We're kind of taking a little bit of a pause on the home building side, and we know that the retail needs to move forward. So you might see activity out there on the south side of Birch and Firestone Boulevard. And then the north side also is what we call a greenfield site, so there has never been development there. And we would love to see a development opportunity there as well. So working with the property owner, and that's just taking a little bit longer. So that project is probably more on the 5 to 10 year horizon, but that's the next kind of wave of development will happen there. We'll see some redevelopment around the King Soopers Center. I know it already had a renovation done in the King Soopers Center, or in the King Soopers, but hopefully we can kind of enhance the retail that's around it, and then there's some development opportunities behind it and adjacent to it. And then we also have some interest in redevelopment in original Firestone, which is kind of the Monmouth, First and Monmouth area. That development can be really complicated to do redevelopment. There's asbestos and other things environmentally that we'll need to work with. So it's a pretty significant redevelopment initiative, but hopefully we can activate that area, including potential recreational opportunities that are coming in around the community center there.
Right.
And then we'd also like to see some redevelopment opportunities and refresh in the Safeway Shopping Center, which will come along with Maria Bonita opening, which is a beautiful new Mexican restaurant that will have rooftop patio, and it'll be
Is
beautiful.
that opening soon?
It's in process. So
okay.
we were hoping it would be open by the end of the summer, but it's just taking a little bit. It's a pretty significant build, so
Yeah, it sure is.
yeah, it'll be open before we know it though.
Nice.
That's amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I can't wait for
And
that one.
then the most exciting project is going to be right around here, the town hall site. We have a Central Park project that is 250 acres around the town hall that is hopefully going to be a mixed use and sports oriented district. And the vision is just getting set for that. We haven't even started to embark on the actual development process there, but we are in deep conversation with some partners and with the town board to kind of establish the vision for what we want to see there.
That's very
That
exciting.
is exciting.
Can people still get their
Yes.
input in on that? Are you guys still taking that?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
we
at this point?
definitely will have public input throughout the process. So it's not ready for public input yet, but we are taking a concept to the board during a retreat later this month and have them weigh in on what they think about this new kind of concept, and then depending on how they receive it, then we could move forward, and for sure public engagement will be a part of that process.
That's so exciting.
It
Oh my
is
gosh,
really
that sounds
exciting.
Big stuff for this
Yeah,
area.
that is a big
Yeah,
step.
Wow.
yes, which is what attracted me here, and Allie as well. So we have 2 people working in economic development now that have a lot of experience and really good at building relationships and really good at communications and marketing, really getting Firestone on the map, getting the word out just like we're doing here today. We want to engage with the community. We want to not only support the businesses here, but we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the residents as well.
Well, and it sounds like it's smart growth, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the community wants. So
Right.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can residents and businesses owners stay informed throughout all this and stay up to date on all the most recent changes?
Yeah, so we have a website, lots of information on our website in terms of how residents can engage with us as well as businesses. So if you wanted to start a business, we help you through that process and can support you as you begin that journey. We also would love for people to engage with us on social media. So the platform we use the most is LinkedIn for our business-oriented communications. So you'll find great information on our LinkedIn page. as well as you can sign up for e-newsletters through the town. And then the Firestone Voice is a printed piece that goes out to Firestone residents, and you'll see a business piece that will going forward that will focus on development within the community. So
Very cool.
yeah, we'll definitely leverage all of our
Yeah.
communication channels
Yep.
to be able to help inform people. And then of course, people can always reach out to our office. We love to engage with businesses and with the public, and be happy to answer any questions if anyone ever had one.
Love it.
So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to let you ask the question because you always ask the entrepreneur questions.
Okay, sounds good. All right, are there any resources for local entrepreneurs who are wanting to get started in the area? And is that, let me rephrase that. Let me redo this. Okay, are there resources that Firestone offers local entrepreneurs to be able to succeed as a small business?
Yes, we definitely want to support businesses of all scales. So with entrepreneurs, we can definitely support them in terms of helping them vet their ideas, try to understand what it is that they're trying to achieve. We can do real estate searches for them. So if you're looking for space to operate in, we can help with that. In addition, we can help with a lot of data information. So we know what the market looks like here. We know the demographics. We can get you traffic counts and other things that are very relevant to help businesses identify where's the best place to open and how their business can be successful. We also have a partnership with the Small Business Development Center, and our representative has office hours weekly here in the Carbon Valley. So we would encourage businesses to take advantage of that. Business counseling through the SBDC is free, so there's absolutely no reason not to engage with the SBDC. Literally any question you have about your business or how to overcome any challenges that you're facing within your business, they can pair you with a relevant consultant that can help answer those questions.
That's
So SBDC is an invaluable resource. We really encourage it. And they also have Spanish language speaking consultants. So I know that that can be a challenge in our region, and it's happened with Maria Bonita. We really, needed to have that, bridge that gap from a cultural and language perspective. So the SBDC helped us do that. So definitely encourage that. And then our business librarian at the Carbon Valley Library also has resources. So, there's a dedicated librarian that can help you as a business to do research about any aspect of your business, and can help you get supporting information to help you with your business plan. So lots of resources. And then also just networking within the community, making sure that you're helping to support local businesses from a resident and other business perspective. We want to make sure that we're all working together. We have a great relationship with our neighbors in Frederick and Dacono, and even in Erie and Longmont. So we want to make sure that the whole region is successful. Even though we represent the town of Firestone, we are definitely leveraging those relationships along around the whole region. So, and as an example, Ziggy's is celebrating their 10-year anniversary here at their location on Colorado Boulevard, which is hard to believe. They've been here for 10 years
That is
already.
crazy. That is crazy.
And that's happening next week, I believe, 2 weeks from now. And we are helping to get the word out. We are, thanking them for being here. So we definitely try to support our businesses long term. We are not just here when you open. We're here for the long haul, and we have a long-term relationship with all of the businesses here
That's awesome.
in Firestone.
How often do you update your counts? Do you know that?
Accounts?
No, your counts, like when you're counting for, how much traffic is in a certain area.
I have real-time data.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how much your cell phones provide information to, that, right? Like when you're walking by a store and it pings to that store, you get a coupon to go in the store that you just happened to go by. I was golfing with a friend the other day, and we were talking about a vacation destination, and I literally got an email from that vacation destination about going, and I was listening
So
to
wild.
me.
Big Brother is always listening.
Anyway, your cell phones provide a wealth of information to certain data collectors, and we can actually see traffic patterns, foot traffic patterns, all of that information in almost real time.
Wow.
So-
want to bring up the platform that we use, Placer AI?
Yeah, we use Placer AI, which is a really wonderful tool to help evaluate not only the data like traffic counts and foot traffic, but it also can help you understand the types of retail that would be best suited for certain areas. You can look at, like as an example, I'm tracking what's happening at the King Soopers in Frederick because it just opened and obviously might have an impact on our stores, both Safeway and King Soopers. And so I'm trying to evaluate, how much are we potentially having cannibalized over there. But I think there's plenty of room in the market for both.
right.
But, we're trying to understand like how quickly but it's also telling a really interesting story because how quickly they succeed will also tell us how ripe our area is
Yeah.
Right,
for development and for, we're literally starved for development and for businesses.
Yes.
And so as you see these voids being filled, other retailers will also see that
Yes.
and see that this is a great place to open and it has the perfect demographics for what they're wanting.
Right.
Absolutely. That's very
So-
exciting.
When you talk about small grocery in your new area, we'll just put in a plug for Trader Joe's. We don't have to say anything else.
Like you and every
I like
other
it.
community
I know.
on the planet, so
I know, we all wanted
jump in
Trader
line.
Joe's.
But I was meeting with a property owner today, and he's actually in very West Firestone. And I was saying this could be a good site for something like that because it's a destination at that point, right? This
yeah.
is not a neighborhood. This is like you have a Trader Joe's that everyone goes to. You have an In-N-Out that everyone, you're
Yeah.
going to make a drive to go there. It's a special
Right.
trip. So I think that I don't know that we're positioned for it yet, but Trader Joe's, Whole Foods are eventually going to migrate this way. And we certainly have sites available when and if that
That's
happens.
amazing. That's so
So-
exciting. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Awesome.
Well, that's very awesome. Thank you so much for your time
Yes.
today, Jill. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's not for the faint of heart being in economic development, is it?
No, it's definitely a long-term horizon, right? Like projects that we're working on take
Yeah.
years, and the community doesn't really truly understand that, right? You want what you want when you want it, and you don't realize how hard one project is,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
the investment, it's the building, it's the construction companies, it's
Right.
the site development, it's the market development, right? You can't
Right.
just because you want a business like Trader Joe's doesn't mean that the market's ready for
Right,
it.
right.
And so all of those pieces have to come together for a project to come to fruition. And so oftentimes most of our projects are like a 3 to 5 year horizon
Sure.
from the initial conversation to opening. And so patience is what I always try to stress with residents is that, we are always working behind the scenes to
Right.
try to make these things happen. And really what we need is support. And you have to be careful with the way that you communicate out there
sure.
to the world, right? Because if you are putting negative energy out there in terms of your comments and your
Yeah.
demands, we're not just seeing it, businesses are seeing it, and they want to be in a supportive community. So I think it's really important to focus on the positive and to really be complimentary of your community because you want it to be a place that people want to be, not only residents, but also businesses. So
Right. Well, that's why we do the podcast, because we love our community, Kendra and I do.
Yeah.
So we want
Yeah.
everyone else to know about it. So
Yeah.
thank you for your experience. We're glad to have you in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you here. in
I'm
Firestone,
really
for
happy
sure.
to be
Yeah.
here and happy to know that there are other champions like you in the community
Yeah.
that we can, collaborate with
Yeah.
and help get the word out. And so, yes, we will definitely be in touch and appreciate the opportunity.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit about what's coming up in Firestone. And yes, we'll see you next time
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
podcast. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.